Is this where you grew up? How old were you when they died? You know the answer to that. You know the whole story. Orphans always make the best recruits. Welcome back to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest, a weekly podcast where movie enthusiasts, ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question. Should or shouldn't you watch this? I want to extend a shaken but not stirred welcome to our reoccurring guest, JJ, to the show.
Thanks for having me. Part 2, Skyfall.
Part 2, Skyfall. Welcome back to our ongoing tribute to Daniel Craig Bond films. The past becomes the present.
We're under attack. Whoever did this, he knows us. He's one of us.
.007 reporting for duty.
Skyfall, rated PG-13, in IMAX November 9th.
In IMAX November 9th. Well, dude, we're back, part 2, Skyfall. I could tell the whole reason why we started this series was because, you hadn't seen any of the Bond movies, but in particular, you really wanted to see Skyfall. So this is why we're doing this.
Yeah, I knew from a lot of reviews and things like that Skyfall was just a banger of a movie, and it was, indeed.
Correct. Let's jump right into popcorn trivia.
Let me tell you something, pendejo.
All right, dude, I only have 3 trivia points. I kind of front-loaded our part 1 with a lot of numbers, which I think are sick. So if you haven't listened to part 1, head over there and then come back. But the first trivia point that I have, for a long time in development and pre-production, this movie was simply known as Bond 23. Reportedly, other titles that were considered for the movie were A Killing Moon, Once Upon a Spy.
No way, that's real.
Silver Bullet. And then there were also falsely rumored titles that were touted in the media during 2011, which were called Carte Blanche and Red Sky at Night. Previously in 2010, it was reported that a competition would run to pick a title for this movie from the remaining Ian Fleming titles. The 2 most popular being Risico. That is worse than Quantum of Solace.
Yeah.
And The Property of a Lady, in addition to the Hildebrand Rarity, has also been touted as a possible title.
Those are all pretty bad. Skyfall is an amazing title, though.
Yeah, I would... Oh my gosh, I got a lady... I'm recording this in my car, by the way. There's a lady standing literally 12 inches from my face by my window.
Tell her to like and subscribe.
And she doesn't know what is happening right now. Please shut up and get out of here. Thank you. Yeah, hi. Hi, I'm recording a podcast in my car. See ya. Thank you. Okay, back to the show. The second trivia point that I have... Oh, by the way, none of those titles are great. And to your point, Skyfall is the best title. I would say even better than Casino Royale.
Agree. And it's coming off of, QOS, Skyfall is just so much better.
Yeah. And I was going to save this for... Oh, here it is. So the title is not a word taken from any Ian Fleming stories. The screenwriters Neil Purvis and Robert Wade thought up the title Skyfall at 2 a.m. Neil and Robert have said, "We needed a haunting place name. I just plucked it out of the air, and it turned out to be something that struck a chord with the filmmakers, and it stuck." Does that happen to you where you're right when you get up, or if you're showering, or you doing some monotonous thing, or it's really late, you have this awesome idea?
That's crazy that they just thought of it like that, you're saying, because I thought this was definitely part of Ian Fleming's stories and stuff.
Yeah, well, a lot of it is, but this one...
I thought Skyfall, the house would be in the past.
Not in the writings. He talks about his parents dying, and he talks about his Scottish heritage. Mm-hmm. But not about this, house and...
Interesting. Okay. Good to know.
Interesting, huh? I don't have any more trivia unless you have anything before we get into beefs.
I got some trivia. So the MI6 building in London, that's blown up.
Yes.
So that's the real building for the United Kingdom CIA, pretty much. Like they're called the SIS, the Secret Intelligence Service.
Oh, so it's not even MI6?
No, it's SIS.
SIS. Sis.
I thought it was cool that it's kind of the same building, for their CIA. Anyway, in the movie, they built a 50-foot high replica.
Whoa.
And they blew that up.
That is sick, dude. Yeah, I've got a new category called Popcorn Awkward.
Whoa.
So,
I got to know about this.
Sorry, I just came up with it today. It's just for this pod.
I think I already know what's going to be in this.
Yeah, you do. And then we'll do the what's it called? The Mount Rushmore of spy movies.
Okay, yeah. Let me know when you want that brought up.
Probably, I think it'd be fun to do that at the end with the rating, I think.
Yeah, I think so too, for sure.
Okay.
So my other piece of trivia was when I was looking into this movie, this is the only Bond movie that drops the F-bomb.
Oh, yeah. That they kind of slipped it in, man.
Yeah, M. M does it of all people.
I know. I mean, I used to have this, I think it was on my show very early on, or at least the idea of my show that I was going to have like rate the one F-bomb in PG-13 movies. This one is pretty great.
Yeah, it's at the end when she's at Skyfall and, M's always so confident in herself and, the agency. And then she's like, I effed this up, didn't I?
Yeah.
My last piece of trivia I had, when he's on the beach and he's doing a shot of whiskey and he's got the scorpion on his hand?
Yeah.
So I was researching, trying to figure out if that was a thing. And I couldn't really find if that was an actual thing. People will have scorpions in the tequila bottles and then eat them that way.
But they was alive.
I know. And it was on his hands. So I don't know what that was kind of about. But maybe because his hand doesn't waver so he doesn't get stung. So he drinks it really fast is kind of the game or whatnot. But when I was researching it, I found there's this 007 store. And it has a lot of collectibles and shirts and posters and stuff. But it also has a 007 shot glass drinking game that includes a metal scorpion. That was the number one thing I found on Google when I searched trying to figure out if this game was real. It kept pulling up an actual thing you can buy.
It's Bond merch.
Yeah. And dude, on this website, so I was kind of snooping around, and they have crazy stuff on there. So they have a Fabergé, yeah. Fabergé Octopussy ring. Okay. 18 karat yellow gold. How much do you think this bad boy is?
I like you to say Octopussy one more time if you could.
It's an Octopussy ring.
There we go. Let's see. I would say $87.
$20,404.
I mean, who's shopping for this stuff? Daniel Craig?
Dude, but it's out there. So if you want an Octopussy ring for under $21K, Double Oven Store has you.
That's an expensive Octopussy, dude.
Dude, yeah. That Octopussy is top tier.
I don't know if I can afford it. I'm out on that.
DC could.
Yeah, for sure when he's making 17 mil.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got a couple he gives out. It's like party favors. Who knows? But dude, I was thinking while you're saying that, it's almost like those people who, are adrenaline junkies. The people who maybe have had a drug problem, they get off and then all of a sudden they just want to skydive all day long. And that's the only way they can basically feel anything. Maybe he's just so low in his life that he's like, I need this to feel alive again.
Oh, the scorpion?
Yeah, the risk of getting stung and potentially the pain and whatever else comes along with it. I don't know if it can kill you or probably not.
I mean, there's poisonous scorpions out there for sure.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if they can kill you.
I think they can.
Homework. That's my homework. Scorpion homework.
But I like what you're saying because as soon as he takes that shot and he traps the scorpion, the very next scene immediately cuts to him really depressed looking on the beach.
Yeah.
And the mood, it goes from this party atmosphere to him being lonely on the beach looking all sad.
Yeah, he's like the last guy there. He stayed there all night and all day, and the guy's like, all right, here's another glass for you, man. I know you're just going to freaking drink some more. I mean, this might not be the right time to ask, but what would you do? Would you want out? Maybe not. I mean, that's all he knows.
Yeah.
He's got to get back in.
I'd be doing it for the love of the game.
Yeah, dude.
Hanging out with the ladies and shooting some guns.
Driving awesome cars.
Yeah. Get some cool gadgets.
Kill a few people if you need to. You got a license to do it.
He does.
Might as well.
Great looking suits.
Yeah. It's not for me, but it seems like it'd be fun to as like a vacation, like a Bond vacation.
I think you got to go all in. I think you got to commit. You can't vacation this.
I don't know if there was like a adult, Universal Studios, but it was just Bond, and you could they get a couple hobos and you can shoot a couple of them and try it out for a bit. Yeah, maybe I'd be in with my $20,000 Octopussy ring.
Some Bond cosplay for the weekend.
Yeah, maybe when I get super wealthy, I can pretend to be Bond for a week.
I think that sounds like $1 million idea.
That's all we do here is just give them away. We're just giving them away for free.
But save up for that Octopussy ring, no doubt.
It's on my wish list. I already added it to cart. Do you have any more trivia? I accidentally have 2 more.
Yeah, let's hear them.
Okay, this might be lame, but every time I've watched this movie, Skyfall, and I know it's featured prominently in the movie, well, at least multiple times, and we see it a bunch of times in the other movies, is the bulldog with the Union Jack flag on it.
What is that about?
So it is, these bulldog figurines were created by Royal Doulton during World War II to represent patriotism in the UK.
Okay.
It's found in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. It's found, he's the head of MI6, John Hurt, and he has 2 of them on his desk. I think it would be dope to have one.
Yeah, I'm sure SM store online has those for sure.
Yeah, I think that would be a fun thing to put on your desk.
I thought that was just like a thing I missed from previous Bonds, because M gives Bond one of those after she goes.
Well,
and,
it's always there on her desk, and he jokes about it earlier in the film. I think it's
good to know.
Fit because when the thing blows up and they have to move, we're in spoiler zone now. We can talk about it, but that's the only thing that she takes, and it's on her desk again. He's like, "Oh, I see you packed," and so I like it. I think it's cool.
Yeah. What would be the American version of that?
I mean, we just had an election in our country, and it'd probably be a bulldog with a MAGA hat on it, probably.
Like maybe a Ronald McDonald figure.
Yeah, or a Hamburglar.
Yeah.
Probably more Hamburglar because we're kind of chubby over here. I mean, I'm not, but it seems like the rest of the world thinks we're like fat.
That's because most Americans are.
I mean, this is true. We're kind of roly-polies. We're like those guys in Wall-E at the end. That's us.
Ooh.
That's where we're headed, I should say. My last trivia point is, after receiving, I don't know if you remember this, but I love this trivia point, and I went and actually watched this again. Daniel Craig received a personal invitation from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II to appear as James Bond in a promotion of the movie at the opening ceremony of the 2012 Olympics. Do you remember this?
Oh, dude, I do remember this, but it's been quite a while since I've seen this clip.
Yeah, so it's so awesome. So they pretend that they're like, he's coming to get her and escort her safely to the stadium. And then it's
the opening of the ceremony.
Yeah. And they get into a helicopter and it flies over the Thames River and then through the London Bridge, or not the London Bridge, the one next to it, and
London Tower.
This famous bridge. I always mix up my UK listeners are going to be like punching me through the stereo, but
Big Ben.
No, it's this famous bridge.
Shout out.
Yeah. So anyway, London
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. No, so they fly through the bridge. It's really sick, and then they jump out of both of them, the Queen and him, jump out of the plane, and
Oh, nice.
with Union Jack parachutes. So pretty cool.
I'll have to look it up.
If I were ever to like defect from my country, I think I'd be down to be a Brit.
I mean, they definitely got to be in like top 5
of places to go other than here. If we didn't want to live here, yeah, top 5.
Team Crumpets.
Team Crumpets, baby. Give me one of those bulldogs, and I'll keep trying on my accents. We'll get there. Any more trivia before we get to beefs?
Get that beef.
Popcorn beefs.
Where's the beef? Hey, where's the beef?
All right, I got a few beefs, bro.
I got some beefs too, bro.
As much as you might not think I would have any, but
yeah.
The Komodo dragons.
Oh my gosh, this is my biggest beef too. Go ahead.
So, number one, the CGI looks hot trash. When you're looking at everything else in this movie, it sticks out like a sore thumb, dude. And
could not agree more.
I looked this up a little bit more because I was so kind of bothered by it. And it sounds like Sir Sam Mendes was also bothered by it. And he says he will never use CGI created characters ever again because of this movie.
I mean, I'm fine with that. Like, do the real thing, Sam.
Yeah, they sucked.
That's my number one beef as well, dude. And 2, when he steps on it to get out of the pit, I just thought that was laughable.
Yeah, it almost you don't know this because you don't really care about Star Wars, but when they re-released the Star Wars movies and they added all these extra scenes in, and there was a scene where Han Solo walks around this actual guy that was playing Jabba the Hutt, but because Jabba the Hutt wasn't a man, they replaced him with the slug guy. He walks over and around him, so he has to step on his tail, and it looks so terrible.
Yeah,
it reminded me of that immediately.
That scene just took me out, and I think when he's stepping on them, I haven't seen the previous Bonds, but I know like there's a Bond, wasn't it Roger Moore, that steps on the crocodiles?
Oh yeah, I could see how they're kind of paying homage to that.
Yeah. I don't know if that was it, but either way, number one beef for me too.
Yeah,
Komodo dragons, number one beef.
Yeah, Komodo dragons beef. My next beef is the Skyfall Lodge, not a real building.
Okay.
Beef for me because it's so cool that I wanted it to be real.
Yeah.
So apparently they built it. They built the whole exterior made of
crazy
plywood and plaster. Its setting is in Glencoe, Scotland, but the filming location for the interiors was in Surrey, England. So, and I have a fan. I got to shout him out. I think we call him. I can't remember what he wanted me to call him because I can't say his real name or I'll get in trouble. But he worked on this film and other Daniel Craig Bond films, and he's told me some stories. And I got to ask permission for him to tell him, but it's wild. This isn't a real place, but these guys built the set on the exterior and the interior. It looks so awesome.
Yeah, they did an awesome job.
But beef that it's not real. It's a small beef, not huge.
When we do our Bond cosplay, we can build one and they can like go to it and stuff.
Correct. Yeah. What was the other? And we can build a model of the MI6 headquarters too. We can blow that up.
We'll have our Octopussy rings on too.
Oh, yes, please. If we can say Octopussy as many times through the rest of this show, it'll make me so happy. All right, I only have one more. Daniel Craig told Rolling Stone magazine that he wanted this to be his third and final Bond movie, saying, "I've been trying to get out of this from the very moment I got into it, but they won't let me go." And then Craig signed on for 2 more James Bond movies.
Nice.
Like, my beef is with Craig. You got the part for the first movie, knocked it out of the park, and then constantly you're just like, I hate doing this, I don't want to do it, and then you do it for 4 more movies, and then that tweet that you just sent me that came out right now, where he's like, today he just doesn't even care about anything Bond related. It's like, dude.
Yeah, they asked him who he wanted to be, who he thought should be the next Bond, and his reply was, I don't care.
Yeah, I just think it's a beef for me that, show some show some reverence to the character and your part, man.
I agree with that. That's some good beef.
I still like him, and it doesn't change my opinion of the movie or him, but just kind of be nicer, Daniel.
Yeah, at DC.
Any other beefs?
Dude, I got some beefs.
Okay.
A beef I have is the product placement. I noticed it a lot this movie. The Audi in the beginning, the Heineken.
Yeah.
There's like some Vio laptops that are kind of like ridiculously shown, like the
There's
name.
a couple Sony Ericsson phones too.
Yeah, this is the first Bond one that we've watched that I felt that. So just I don't like that in my movies.
Yeah. So I looked a little bit of this up. I'm torn because this is the 50th anniversary, so they were trying to put a lot of homages to the other stuff, which inherently is going to add some product placement. But also, these are so expensive. They're like $250 million movies. And if I've got to see Daniel Craig, licking at the tips of Heineken bottles, like, I'll take it so I can get another cool Bond movie that has awesome.
Yeah, I feel like there's money. They don't need it, but I get it.
Yeah. Well, and at the time of this movie coming out, MGM was bankrupt and they were trying to sell the company to someone. And that's why there was some delays in shooting this, because they're waiting for someone to buy them so they could continue to shoot. And they needed some cash, man. Sometimes you got to whore it out.
I hear it. Always need more cash. Some other beefs I have all involved. I got some beefs with Kincaid and M.
Okay.
So the first beef is I hate how they use that flashlight once they're escaping Skyfall. It's the dark, and Skyfall just exploded, and they use the tunnel or whatever, and then they're using a flashlight. I just think like they're too smart for that.
Yeah, turn it off, man. Like everyone's gonna see it.
Exactly. Like Javier sees it immediately, and then two, I mean, I feel like there's a missed opportunity between Kincaid and M. Like, I feel like they were vibing, like, so I feel like there's a beef that since M died, we missed out on this relationship.
Yeah. And beef to Bond for not introducing them earlier.
Yeah, that's on Bond. That's on James.
Yeah. I mean, M's husband died a while back. She's been alone. She needs companionship.
I could tell that they had something special for a bit.
Yeah, she needs some of that Scotsman blood in her.
Yeah, he'll take care of her. And then my last beef involving Kincaid is, why wasn't Kincaid Sean Connery? Because that would have been amazing.
Bro, they actually, I read about this. There were early talks to have Sean Connery play that part.
Yeah, because as soon as I see that part, I'm like, oh my gosh, Sean Connery should be in this part.
Well, this is what Mendes said. He said this would take away from the film. I feel like it would take people out of it. I disagree.
I think it elevates it even more.
Yeah, that would have been sick. I don't know if you like the Kevin Costner Robin Hood.
Yeah.
But when I saw Sean Connery as King Arthur at the end, I lost my marbles, dude. It was
it's
awesome. So yeah, I'm all for that.
I know he retired like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. What was that, like 2007-ish? I don't know, maybe later. But man, I just felt that part was perfect for him.
Yeah, I agree, dude.
And no disrespect to the Kincaid, because he does great in it. But once again, I think Connery could have been next level.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen 2003, so he might have been.
Dang.
They might have had to like get him out of retirement.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I don't know.
He's been retired for almost 10 years then.
Yeah, maybe give him. What are we giving Sean Connery to do a cameo?
Heineken's and Octopussy rings.
Heineken's and Octopussy rings, dude. That's exactly what
Yeah,
he needs.
maybe a Komodo dragon pit. I don't know.
Whatever
he wants.
Give him an Aston Martin.
Yeah.
We're blowing him up left and right.
Yeah. And then my last beef was Fiennes. He has a quote when he talks to Bond. He goes, "Don't cock it up." And I just have a beef because that British slang sometimes is so much better than us over here in America.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
We need to use more British slang. Don't cock it up.
Don't cock it up. I love bollocks. I like,
Yeah.
there's so many things that there's more like, they're not heavy swear words, but they're mediocre. Like they're in the middle. Not mediocre.
But
That's a bad word.
They get their point across more.
Yeah. Well, there's just a breadth of more words. We just have like 5. We don't have any of those fun, colorful, middle tier swear words. I like it.
Yeah. Bollocks is great.
Yeah.
So just some minor beefs.
I like it. We should use cock more.
Yeah.
Maybe in this pod we should try to use octopussy and cock more. That's where we're at right now.
Don't cock it up. That's what he says.
Don't cock it up, dude. Any more beefs?
That's it.
Okay, I have a new and only one time new category for should you watch this.
Oh, you can tell me this. What we got?
This is only for you because I don't know if anyone in the listeners is going to know what this is, but you and I, we went to college together and we're roommates, and we loved Robin Big. And there's this soundbite that I could not find. I looked way too long to find this. I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
But it's the category is popcorn awkward.
Ooh, I know where you're going with this.
And the soundbite would have been, I'll tell you what's awkward, a 400-pound black man with man boobs. That's what's awkward.
He's got his shirt off playing the guitar.
Yes, I need that clip if we can find it. That
Big
would be
Black, the man.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
You know what's awkward? A black man with man boobs on the bed is awkward.
So I got, in this one and done category, I got 2 popcorn awkwards. Awkward
I already
moments.
know what one of them is.
Okay, why is Mr. Silva
Yeah. Here it
doing
goes.
Mr. Bond so dirty in the face when he's
Oh man,
touching him?
He's rubbing those legs.
Oh yeah, he rubbing his leg, his inner area of his neck.
Yeah.
It's a bit awkward. I mean, here's the thing that's going through my head. Is this a power move? Is this like, I'm intimidating you by being awkward? Or is he really like, I kind of want to partake?
And I think it's both.
Probably both. You're right. Which makes it even more weird, awkward.
Yeah. But doesn't he say something like Bond's response to him after he like caresses his legs? Bond's like, "This isn't my first time."
Oh, dude, awkward second. Awkward.
So he kind of like one ups his awkwardness with his own awkward.
Yeah. I mean, let's stop being awkward, guys.
He counters the awkward with his awkward, which is a good counter move.
That's a good Bond move for sure.
Right, Bond, exactly.
I was reading into this a little further, which is not what you should be doing listen, everyone, love is love, right? Like, you do what you need to do. I'm hetero. That's where I'm at. And so I read more about it, and it sounds like they both had a hard time getting through these takes because they were giggling so much.
I can see that.
So yeah, some dude tickling my neck. It's gonna be a little giggly.
Pressing your inner thighs, whispering, is he whispering, "Don't cock it up"?
Ooh, yeah, too close to my face to have the word cock. Yeah, too close. I don't like it.
Category.
All right, I have one more popcorn awkward.
You know what's awkward? A black man with man boobs on the bed is awkward.
According to the UK Sun newspaper, Bond girl Baroness Marlowe said that Daniel Craig was coy and hesitant before filming their love scene in the shower.
Oh.
Marlowe said he was very shy, and when he saw me entering the shower, he was like, "Oh my goodness." He tried to keep his underpants on for the shower scene, but I said, "Nah, come on in. Don't be shy. I'll do anything to make you feel comfortable." Let me say that one more time because this is popcorn awkward. I'll do anything to make you feel comfortable while we're nude in the shower.
That doesn't sound like the DC I know.
Listen to me. It's awkward, dude. Like, what? Hey, just pop that off while we're in here. It's fine. I don't know. Awkward. I don't need to talk about it anymore. These are just awkward to me, okay?
I hear you.
All right, let's get back to the normal show, which is popcorn puzzles.
A sphincter says what? What? A sphincter says what? What? Exactly.
Exactly. All right, I got a few puzzles, dude. Some of them I'm going to help solve tonight.
Yeah.
Some of them are unsolvable.
I hear you.
You already brought up one that beautifully about the building being blown up. Having it be a model is unbelievable. I was wondering how they did that, and having it be a model blows my mind even more. So
yeah,
puzzle solved.
A 50-foot high replica.
It's wild. It looked so good.
Yeah, this set design, like you mentioned with the Skyfall home and the MI6 building, it's just the fact that they're building these is incredible.
Yeah. So my listener in the UK, he actually works on sets. I mean, kudos to all these guys, all the workers behind the scenes that make these movies so awesome. Like,
no doubt.
I can't tell you how important all those guys are to the show, like stunt people and the people who are making the sets and the costume designers. It's just so awesome. They don't get enough credit.
Agreed.
Next puzzle. I don't know how you're going to feel about this, especially since of what has happened to him, but Kevin Spacey was considered for a role but declined due to scheduling conflicts. It is believed that director Sam Mendes originally offered Spacey the role of the villain.
I'm surprised he would decline after all the touching, and the caressing.
I mean, seems like he would have been down.
Awkward.
Popcorn awkward. Maybe we should.
Do you know what's awkward? A black man with man boobs on the bed is awkward.
Rewind that and put that into popcorn awkward. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's awkward now, but back then it seemed like he would have been pretty dope as a Bond villain.
I mean, Kevin Spacey in Seven as the villain is just all time. So him in this movie that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I think for me, I still want to keep
Javier
Bardem. Yeah, I'm keeping Javier. Here's another popcorn puzzle, and it kind of is related to the Komodo dragons.
Oh no,
which we already discussed. But so if you're watching this scene, I don't know if you picked up on this. I actually did this time. Daniel Craig has kind of like sausage fingers in these scenes when he's in the pit. So it turns out this is because during filming, Craig had gone to the shop and he purchased a pair of gloves that he thought would look cool for 007. Director Sam Mendes let him wear them in the scene. But later during editing, they realized that the gloves didn't work with the logic of the scene because the whole thing is about the gun. And his gun's not going to work with freaking gloves on because it has to touch his skin, right?
Like his fingerprint?
Yeah, because it's that special one that Q gave him that is fingerprint activated.
Yeah.
So they're like, we shot all this. I mean, that set was, again, another set, beautiful set, not real. And they couldn't refilm the whole thing. They had to CGI sausage fingers on him.
I didn't notice the sausage fingers, but I'll have to take note.
Yeah. Now, next time, your puzzle that you didn't even know you had will be solved.
Appreciate it.
All right, last puzzle. Hashima Island. The site of Tiago Rodriguez Raul Silver's lair is a tiny deserted industrialized island situated off the southwest coast of Japan. It's 15 kilometers from Nagasaki and running just 480 meters long and 160 meters wide. So 1/10 of a mile. The small island is one of the 505 uninhabited islands in the Nagasaki prefecture. The island is also known as Ghost Island.
Ooh.
As well as Gunkanijima, which is perfect pronunciation and translates to Battleship Island. The island was last significantly inhabited in 1974 and once a thriving coal mining community. The island is notable for its character due to its seawall and its unattached, abandoned, derelict buildings. Wild.
What's your puzzle?
I wanted to know, this is a puzzle solved. I wanted to know what this was, if it was a set. It was a real place.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It exists. It's kind of like Alcatraz. When you go to it, you're like, holy crap, there's a ghost island that they filmed this on. It's wild.
I wonder if Ghost Island.
That's all the puzzles I had. Did you have any other puzzles we haven't discussed?
Those are some really good puzzles. I just had a couple. My first puzzle was, how did Bond survive that gunshot and fall off the train at the very beginning?
Yeah, it was a little far for him to fall.
He's dropped pretty hard in that water.
And not only, okay, let's abandon logic and let's say he's unconscious. Sure. So sometimes, like when drunk people fall, like they don't, if you try to catch yourself, you might break something. But if you're flippy floppy, let's say he gets in the water, he's okay. This fudger's down in the water for like ever and going over waterfalls.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The gunshot bleeding.
Bleeding out. Yeah. Not realistic, that part.
Yeah. This is a puzzle. I'm not saying he can't survive that,
Yeah.
But
could a highly trained operative survive that? We don't know. It's a puzzle. That's why it's in this category.
Exactly. And then my other puzzle was at the very beginning, the train. So there's so many things on this train. There's a cat construction excavator. There's some VW Beetles. There's carriages with passengers. There's chains on the top of the train. Do you think this train has ever existed where all these things have once been on one?
I mean, I kind of feel like, no offense to our Indian listeners, but I feel like in India there would be a train like this.
All right.
I know. Where was this scene taking place? It wasn't in India.
Was it in Istanbul?
Oh yeah, Istanbul. And maybe. I'm going to stick with India. I think it would exist in India.
Yeah, crazy things. And mixed with some cobras.
Cobras, correct.
Then my last puzzle was at the very end, there's a logo and it says 50 years James Bond will return. Correct. I just didn't understand what that was about.
So I'm pretty sure, because you're a James Bond noob, and this is prior to all the end scenes that movies do so much these days with Marvel and stuff. But if you watch the credits of a James Bond film, I would say 99% of the time at the very end, it says James Bond will return.
Oh, okay.
So that was a nod to all the other films of the last 50 years, and then they put it at the first.
All right.
So you'll see that if you fast forward to the end, you'll always see James Bond will return.
All right.
Yeah, and sometimes they even knew what movie was coming out. That's how they were churning these out in the 60s and 70s. They would say, James Bond will return in Moonraker or whatever. They would already know what he was coming.
Yeah. Octopussy, all of them.
Octopussy.
That's all my puzzle.
I like it. Those are some good ones. Let's get into Popcorn Redemption.
I have exorcised the demons.
So this is the category that we have in the show to make sure we end on a high note. We don't want to be complaining and talking trash at the end.
Especially after an amazing movie.
True. It's easy to gush about a movie that we like, but sometimes we watch terrible movies and we got to talk about some things that we like, because that's what we're about here. I just want to say the subway train crash is the sickest thing of all time. It's so cool, dude.
It's up there.
They built a fake subway train and crashed it.
Yeah.
it
They build
didn't weigh.
everything.
Yeah, it didn't weigh as much as a real one, but it was like they had to clear out every single person on set and only have remote cameras because they were worried that something would hit someone or kill someone.
Dang.
So no one was on set when they filmed that. So Adele was pregnant when she recorded the theme song. So my redemption isn't that she got pregnant, but my redemption is the song is so sick. It had burst all kinds of records and sold a ton of copies. But
yeah,
in the interview,
the Oscar
won an Oscar. It's awesome. So in an interview with the BBC, she said her pregnancy hormones caused her voice to go deeper, hence why her singing tone in this song is so low. She also said that she's not able to recreate this low tone ever again.
Dang.
So this was like this weird window that we got this crazy song from Adele, and it's so cool.
Yeah, thanks, pregnant Adele.
Yeah, thanks for getting
Skyfall.
Raul Silva
yes.
was modeled on the Joker from The Dark Knight.
No way. That's something I was going to bring up in my redemptions of how much I loved Javier in this. And he reminded me of the Joker in Dark Knight.
Yeah, so Sam Mendes had seen the two films and was like, loved him, and he was the inspiration came from that, and also Colonel Hans from Inglourious Bastards.
Okay,
so those two characters were what inspired him.
I was thinking of the Joker from the Dark Knight, and also another villain from a spy franchise. I was thinking of Philip Seymour Hoffman in MI3. Because he just like is always one step ahead, and it seems like Javier Raul Silva's, character was just always steps ahead of Bond in MI6, and he wanted to be caught. And
it wasn't about taking over the world or robbing some giant bank. It was like I'm getting revenge. That's it.
Yeah, I love probably my second favorite thing in this movie is just the quintessential villain that Javier does in this, the Raul Silva.
Yeah,
it's
he's good.
So awesome. The stretch from when we get introduced to him on the island, which is a real island, which is crazy, and where he gets captured into the glass cell, which is amazing, and then the trial scene, like that stretch is just elite.
He does this weird thing with his voice that is so haunting. When he's trying not to use his Spanish accent from Spain, he has this really he accentuates his R's, and it's just really off-putting.
And he has, some cyanide effects.
Oof, yeah. Yeah, that was his idea, dude, to bring in. He came to set with his hair dyed, and he had other ideas about his costume, and Sam Mendes is like, I love it, let's keep it.
Nice. Yeah, at first the blonde was kind of throwing me off, but I eventually worked my way toward liking it.
Yeah, well, I guess it's a byproduct of his poisoning. So I looked a little bit more about The Dark Knight because I was like, oh wow, that's kind of interesting that there's some references there. So there was more influence by Batman and The Dark Knight by Sir Christopher Nolan, according to Sir Sam Mendes. Several early interviews of this movie liken the mood of the movie to those movies. Interestingly, a reoccurring line of dialogue in The Dark Knight Rises was "permission to die." This is also the title of a 1989 James Bond comic book. A shot of Bond standing on top of a building looking out over London with a flag of England evoked Batman perched on rooftops looking over Gotham City. Mendes said, in terms of what Nolan achieved, specifically in The Dark Knight, in 2008, the second movie which it achieved, which is something exceptional, it was a game changer for everybody. What Nolan proved was that you can make a huge movie that is thrilling and entertaining and has a lot to say about the world we live in. Even in the case of The Dark Knight, it's not even set in our world. That did help give me the confidence to take this movie in directions that without The Dark Knight might not have been possible.
I love that.
I love that we don't get Skyfall without the brilliant direction of The Dark Knight.
I love both these movies, and you can just tell like they're made with such care, precision, and thoughtfulness. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It was said that Javier Bardem, he requested all of his scripts to be translated into Spanish so that he could really feel what the character's motivation was in his own language. And then he would use the English.
He's awesome as a villain. Obviously, No Country for Old Men. Just the best.
Yeah. So my last popcorn redemption before we get to our rating, this is like encapsulates what I feel about Skyfall. Filming one of the first scenes, Javier Bardem's first scenes, the interrogation of Silva by M and Bond at the new headquarters, had to be stopped in one of the early takes when Bardem interrupted the scene by excitedly proclaiming that he couldn't believe that he was making a movie with Judi Dench and Daniel Craig in a Bond film.
That's awesome.
And to me, it's like you have all these people just peak at their game, making a movie together, and they're all just pumped about it, and they're all really just want to make a good product. That's what movies making is about, and that's why we keep going, because we want to see these spectacles that everyone just putting so much effort into, and I just love it.
I think that for sure pays off. It's like sports. The best teams have the best camaraderie, and they just gel and they love going to work, and you can tell like these guys just work so well together. Yeah.
And to be honest, it's inspiring to me because I want to be, I've done 240 of these, and sometimes it's a lot of work, but I want to let everybody know that I love doing this. It's so much fun. It's so much fun hanging out with friends and having guests on the show and watching movies. It's just fun. And I want to try to transfer that enthusiasm to my listeners, because that's what I see in these awesome movies of these actors and crew and all the cast and crew that help make it. It just makes me happy.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like if you're listening to like this pod or like movie pods, you definitely are a big fan of movies. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, any other redemption before we get to our rating?
Yeah, I got some redemption. The first thing I want to talk about is my favorite thing about this movie that I know we talked a little bit about him before, but just Sir Roger Deakins, man. This movie just looks incredible. Like every shot is amazing, I feel like. And just what I really loved about it was just the color tone and the color grading for each location. I just felt like each location kind of had its own tone and vibe, with the colors.
I agree.
And so, when they capture Silva, it's like kind of all white on the island. And then the Shanghai lights is the yellow gold. And the Macau fight, the silhouette blue. And then
the jellyfish.
Yeah, man.
Sick.
That scene is so awesome. And then the entrance on the boat, when he's with the dragons and the lights, he's just standing there like a boss. And the Skyfall, when it's like the light blue and it's just at dusk, it's just beautiful. This whole movie, the when Skyfall is on fire and Javier is just like tumbling and trying to chase after him, and then Bond's chasing him, like that's just a beautiful shot. I just want to give props to the GOAT, Sir Roger Deakins. It's an amazing shot movie.
Yeah, and even the very first seconds of the film, we don't get the gun barrel scene, but I like why Sam Mendes decided not to do that, because you see Daniel Craig walking down essentially a gun barrel. It's dark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but it's made by Deakins lighting this thing in this way,
so
and then he pops in right at the right second. You see the highlight of Daniel Craig's eyes, and we're like, okay, we're in a Bond film. Let's go. and his gun is right in your face. The gun barrel.
So glad you brought that up. That opening scene with the gun barrel is it's just, you can tell from the stretch like we're in for a ride with just the cinematography of this movie.
Yeah, it's all thanks to Deakins for sure.
Props to Deacon, loved it. And then just some other things. I love any movies that have traps, and I know you reference, Kevin McAllister and Home Alone, and I just love some booby traps in some movies, like setting some traps.
Yeah, some of my all-time most favorite movies are this: Goonies, Home Alone, Skyfall,
Exactly. Yeah,
Rambo 5.
all the classics.
Dude, Rambo 5. Get on it, dude. It is Home Alone with spikes and grenades. Sick.
I'll put it on the list.
If you haven't seen it, shame on you.
Yeah, it's been some time, I think.
Rambo 5. It's called, I think it's just called John Rambo. I can't remember. Their naming convention is pretty messed up.
I'm sure it's great, though. My other redemption, I really love the music in this movie. We haven't really talked about some great.
The score is beautiful.
Yeah, and then when Javier's coming in with the helicopter at Skyfall and the boom 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 song, it's classic.
Oh, and the song when freaking his woman gets shot in the face.
Ooh,
on the island. That French song it's so the juxtaposition of the score and different songs and music that they play with the scenes that just builds that tension.
So well done. And then, overall, my last redemption is just, this is exactly what I want in a Bond movie. We talked about the checklist on QOS, but it's got a great villain, like quintessential, like he's got the deformity with the teeth.
Yeah.
We got the cool cars with the Aston Martin.
Yeah.
And then we got the Bond theme with the car. Like when the car's revealed, we get the Bond theme.
Yeah.
Love it. The opening, the unique song by Adele, the credits are amazing. The locations are amazing. And just, everything I want from a Bond movie.
Yes, dude. You and I have been to Universal Studios. We've been to these big theme parks. When you go to these places, you want to live in that stuff that you liked about these beloved film franchises. You don't want something different. Give us the formula and put a little garnish on it, change it a little bit, but that's what we want. That's why we keep coming back. That's why it's 50 years old. Give us the formula.
That's why our cosplay Bond is going to crush.
Octopussy rings, baby. All right. You texted me earlier before we give our final rating. I think you wanted to do a Mount Rushmore of spy movies. So
I love doing Mount Rushmore, and I wanted to do it during this pod because I think this is on my Mount Rushmore of spy movies. Yeah. I've watched it twice. I watched it a week after I watched it for the first time, and it's just still was amazed by it. And I just feel like this is going to be a rewatchable for me.
Yeah, easily.
Did you want to go first on your Mount Rushmore?
I will if you want me to.
Yeah, let's hear them, dude.
All right. Skyfall.
Yes, sir.
And we only got 4 because that's what Mount Rushmore is. We have dabbled with a crazy horse here and there, but I got
a crazy horse.
So there's Skyfall. I feel like I got to put in 1 or even 2 Mission Impossibles.
I felt the same way, bro.
I could easily put in Fallout. I could easily put in MI3.
Yes, sir.
So that one's hard. I don't know if I can have 2 Mission Impossibles. But
I felt the exact same way, and I only went with one of them.
Okay. So I'll retract that, and I'll just say Fallout, because I can watch Fallout in repeat.
That's on mine as well. So far, we're 2 for 2.
And then the next one is going to be, I don't know. I'm torn. You might have to come back to me. I'm trying to think. I really love, only because of my childhood.
Yeah.
I like the Jack Ryan films. I know he's not really a spy. He's like a CIA. He's not even an agent.
Hunt for Red October could be up there.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hunt for October or Clear and Present Danger.
Yeah,
or even what's the other one with Sean Bean? Patriot Games.
There you go.
Pretty great. So I'm gonna call. Let's say I'm gonna go back. So I'm saying not Casino Royale. Skyfall from the Bond series, Fallout from the MI, but I could easily put 1 or 2 of them on there. and then one from the Jack Ryan series. And then you're gonna love my number 4.
What?
True Lies, baby.
Yeah, I was hoping you were gonna say that.
Like True Lies, man.
Dude, True Lies.
I just got that on 4K. One of the best things I've ever done in my life.
Finally out on 4K.
Finally out on 4K. Correct.
Yeah, that's a great Mount Rushmore of spy movies.
And then
do you have a Crazy Horse?
I do have a Crazy Horse, and it was a toss-up between Argo.
Okay.
Only because of the rewatchability.
Yeah.
It's just so pleasant to watch. And then one of the Bourne films, I think, is...
Okay.
When it came out, it was very revolutionary with regard to spy movies. That first one in particular.
Yeah.
The way I don't really enjoy the other ones as much as the first one because they pull the camera back and they show you the whole fight. Like they're not making these weird camera shaking or anything. It's like you get to see all the stuff, and it was a great ride. So those two are probably my Crazy Horse.
Good picks, my man.
All right, let me hear yours.
All right, my Mount Rushmore. So we got Skyfall at MI5. And like you said, I could have easily put like MI3 or even MI, like the first one in this.
Yeah.
My third one might surprise you. It's a movie called Breach.
Breach. With
Ryan Felipe and Chris Cooper.
Ooh.
It's kind of underrated. It's like in the mid 2000s. And it's about one of the worst traitors we ever had in U.S. history, about this guy named Robert Hansen, who was selling our secrets to the Soviets, man.
We got to keep our secrets to ourselves.
And then I know you're going to like my fourth one.
Maybe
Sneakers.
Oh. Dude, Sneakers.
Yeah, Sneakers.
Sneak, dude.
Sneak.
Man, that's a great one. That's a very underrated. We should review Breach and Sneakers, man.
And The Net.
And The Net.
So many good ones.
We got so much to pull from.
Then my Crazy Horse is Austin Powers.
Yeah. I was trying to pick a comedy, and I'm glad you did. That's really great.
Austin Powers classic.
It's really good.
Even the second one is still funny. The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Correct. Oh, for sure, dude. Very, very, very cool.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of spy movies out there, by the way.
I mean, Spy Game is up there.
Yeah, dude. Spies in Disguise, animated film.
There you go.
Very good.
Munich.
Oh, Munich is sick.
I was thinking about the Coen movie called Burn After Reading.
Burn After Reading is very good.
With Brad Pitt.
What about Zero Dark 30, dude?
Oh man, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good spy movies out there.
It's some good ones. I like that. All right. We're at the end. What's the rating?
I'm going Golden Bucket for sure. It's on my Mount Rushmore.
You know where I'm at.
Double Golden Bucket.
DB9, dude. DB2. That doesn't make any sense because it's a GB. Golden Bucket, not a D. What am I talking?
The double bucket.
Oh, okay. There we go. Double bucket. It works still. See, that's why I need you on the show. I love it. Anything else we need to say before we get ready for Spectre?
I'm excited for Spectre. Like the fact that Mendez directed it kind of pumped me up for it a little more.
Yeah. I
have a feeling. I think I've heard like kind of mixed reviews on this one, but I'm going in with an open heart.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a chance.
Listen, you went into it with an open heart with QoS, and that was the worst reviewed of all 5.
Oh, okay.
And you and I both kind of liked it. You know, I think we gave it.
I learned more about it. I definitely liked it more.
Yeah, medium bucket to large bucket if you watch them together with Casino Royale. So with that in mind, and Skyfall is so good, temper your expectations, but it's also Sam Mendes, so it's going to be good. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So, all right, man. We did it again. This is our third one. We're going into the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we're over halfway. 3 of 5. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Spectre, baby.
That's it for this week. But I'm with you always. I love movies and would love it if you'd share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life. If you made it this far, go give us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I command thee. And as always, thanks for listening. And thanks to my special guest, Mr. Skyfall himself, JJ.
See you next time, Popcorn Priest.
And when you watch movies, you can pop off, pop in, or pop out, but always bring the popcorn.